viewers who are watching. And I'm very excited for today's topic, which is very close to my heart. Coaching in the age of AI, balancing human intuition and technological advancements. So before we kickstart, let's give a warm welcome to Dr. Divya Sripada. Welcome, Divya.
Thank you,
And
Anu.
yeah, let me give a brief introduction about her. Well, trying to keep it brief is difficult. So, Dr. Divya Sripada, an incredible organizational psychologist and leadership coach with 20 plus years of experience. Her journey started as a project engineer in technology, and her passion for innovation led her to IIT Madras, where she contributes to groundbreaking research in human behavior and artificial intelligence. She holds a PhD in organizational leadership and an MBA from Anna University. What a powerhouse of knowledge! Currently, she is shaping minds at VIT University as a faculty in organizational behavior. Her expertise lies in leadership psychology, entrepreneurship, and understanding how technology shapes human behavior. As an ICF certified coach, she has transformed professionals through her workshops on leadership, conflict management, and positive psychology. And let's not forget, she is also a published author with books and chapters exploring leadership, entrepreneurship, and the role of AI in shaping our world. So please join me in welcoming the dynamic, insightful, and inspiring Dr. Divya Sripada.
Thank you, Anu.
So great to have you here today. So, because we have 20 minutes without any further delay, let's jump into the topic, Divya. And I think it cannot be more relevant given that we just saw that Microsoft has been here and Satya Nadella has been attending that conference. We're live. And I was just watching that video and it just takes us to the world where he's talking about an agentic world at this point of time. So, AI is already here. So, being an organizational psychologist and a leadership coach, please share your insights on human intuition and what role you think AI can play in a domain like coaching, which is so human centric. Right.
That's an interesting question, Anu. Thank you for starting off with that question. I think human intuition is so, fascinating and a deeply human quality, right? It's an intricate interplay, we can say, of our subconscious mind and then our emotional intelligence, right? And
Mm-hmm.
it's ability of individuals where we can sense patterns and we can read between the lines, right? And we can also make decisions or beyond logic, that goes beyond logic, right? And as an organizational psychologist, I often see intuition which can emerge in moments where leaders navigate ambiguity, right? And many times in situations of very complex interpersonal dynamics, their human intuition comes into play and it plays a major role. And when it comes to coaching, it's extremely vital, right? Because we have to understand people, we have to understand their emotions, the unsaid and the said, right? And and the unspoken needs, and how are we able to identify that? So that plays a huge role. Now, where will AI fit into this dynamics, right? And surprisingly, AI here can be used as a collaborator and not as a competitor. And how can AI complement human intuition? We can say, right? It's very,
Mm-hmm.
um, it's like a conundrum, right? How can AI be a supplement here? I know as a collaborator here. And AI, we all know, right? It's using historical data. That's how it is built, right? So AI can be used to enhance data driven insights. Basically, it can help us derive inform the decisions. It can help us to come up with patterns. It can help us to understand the team dynamics. So we can use AI tools to understand all of this, and the finding of which can be in turn applied to enable or to enhance human relationships. And we can also amplify self awareness. There are many AI tools available which can provide leaders, live what is the help on their tone of language they're using, their visual cues, their facial expressions and emotions that they're using. So, in live expressions can be captured and analyzed by AI. So, this can be a starting point for coaches to take it and then work towards the or partner with the clients on a journey. And the starting point can be the reflective analysis that is coming from data-driven insights given by AI.
Wow. That sounds a lot.
Yeah.
And I was just like, as you were saying, I was just imagining that we talk so much about awareness, right? And whatever you just shared, I felt like, that can be a kind of buddy in our having the awareness, as you said, about the tone, etc., right? How helpful it will be. There's somebody just saying that, no, your tone is getting a little cut and all that. And I truly like the way you said about the intuition, because no matter how much AI comes in, the intuition part where we know, sometimes just the eye contact and we know that what's going on in the other person's mind. So all these are the beauties of the human intuition, which I just hope will not be taken over ever by
I
AI.
know. Yeah.
Yeah. So with that, let me ask you this question: that since the time Gen AI has come, and let's accept it, it's there, omnipresent, and slowly people are getting used to it. Um, Always we have heard about the debates when it comes to the ethical part of using the Gen AI. So, what do you think that some of the things that are must when we are going to use Gen AI to consider on the ethical side of it?
That's actually the foundation of applying any AI related technology into any sphere of human usage, basically. Especially when we're integrating AI, into the coaching domain. Though it sounds exciting and challenging, especially because adhering to ethical consideration is it's a bit difficult, but it has to be made mandatory. And why? Because data is being used, right?
Mhm.
And it is imperative that the organizations, the individuals, and the stakeholders involved, meaning the clients and the coach, maybe the HR or the management, they're all well aware about the confidentiality part and the data privacy part. So, and they have to be ensured that there is frequent auditing being done about whether there is compliance to any of these ethical policies that are in place. And then also one interesting thing is that AI is built upon historical data, right? So there is
Yeah.
a chance of reinforcing stereotypes and bias sometimes. So we have to be especially very clear, about how which data is being fed in building that AI, which means that more diverse data has to be filled in building that AI, so that it is much more diverse and the stereotypes are not built into this system. That is one, and there is more fairness, right, and equity. And the next is the need for informed consent
Hmm.
from the clients, basically,
Yeah.
because we are using their data. So there are many AI tools which understand, which have been used to look at the mail communications. And I know and then, like I said, right, the facial features, live videos, right? So are the clients aware of this? Do we have their informed consent? And then do we have are we giving the clients the option to always opt out when they no longer want to be in the system, right? So the ability to have the informed consent of the clients is actually vital when we are applying or integrating AI into any of these management domains or even coaching. And then how transparent is this? If I'm using AI, are the
Hmm.
clients aware about how it is being used, which tool is being used, and how the tool works, and how the decision or the analysis from the data or the pattern recognition works? So, being transparency of this helps in making the clients much more, um, maybe less apprehensive about which data is being used or how it's being used. And then I think the most vital of this all is not being over reliant. Sometimes when
Hmm.
we're using a lot, right, of any technology for that matter, we tend to become over reliant on these technologies. It's a very normal human tendency, right? So we hardly calculate. We automatically use the calculator in mobile phones, right? So
Yeah.
instead of Wednesday, next Wednesday, I look at the calendar instead of a simple 2 seconds calculation. So, right? So this over reliance on AI is definitely have to be considered. So the coaches have to partner extensively with the clients to ensure that they are still using self, they are still self-aware, they are still actively using any self-reflective tools that they have to be using, and ensuring that the coaching relationship it remains dynamic, and the AI is enhancing and not diluting the human relationship or the human connection. So these are the major ethical considerations that we have to be aware of and comply actively.
Wow, I mean, I got a lot of insights. I mean, especially that when you said the over-reliant, right? These days there have been news that Google Map has literally taken people to, some river or
Definitely.
somewhere. So yes, that is a tool, but our own mind also has to be used, and have to be very careful about where it is driving us. And that's a very valid point which you said earlier, having all these because it is based on the historical data. So yeah, that's a very interesting part, right? Having these biases that may come in, and here we are at a at a stage where we're trying to break all the biases, and here there is a huge chance that a bias can come in. So I think, yeah, it has to be weighed very clearly that what are the benefits versus where it can do more harm, if possible. So yeah, great for all those good insights, Divya. So with that, I just want to ask that, see, in any profession, we have to keep upskilling ourselves, and coaching, the field of coaching is definitely not an exception. And the coaches have been striving hard to keep up to date. There have been so many things upon the competencies, etc. But when it comes to AI, how do you think the coaches can upskill themselves and tap on this AI wave that has come up to for the benefit of not only them but definitely the clients or the coaches.
That's actually embracing digital literacy, I will say, right?
Hmm.
So we are at a space, in space and time, we can say, where I can no longer say I don't want to use it. It is there. So if we are not using it, then someone else might use it, and it is how am I going to? I cannot use the word exploit, but how can I optimally make it work for me as a coach, right? So that
Hmm.
is a thin line. I'm not going to AI is not going to replace me, but I'm going to use AI in a very conscious way so that it can augment my relationship as a coach with my client, right? So that is a very thin line there, and for that I would strongly advocate towards embracing this digital literacy. I need
Hmm.
not be coding, I need not have anything extensively done, but I need to be aware of what is happening in the digital world, what is happening in the tech world, especially in the coaching domain. There are a lot of AI powered platforms coming in. There are like so many platforms which are AI powered, and they are uh, especially in coaching domain. And I need to be aware of them all. How are they working, right? And how can I use AI tools to help speeden up or to help fasten the outcome that my client might need in terms of data driven pattern recognition, in
Mm-hmm.
terms of psychometric assessments being given, in terms of tracking live progress, right? So all
Yeah.
of these things are present. So they can enhance my relationship with the client. And a client can actually see live progress, right? And which will definitely enhance their sense of accomplishment,
Hmm.
right? So I need to be aware, and also the data driven coaching has definitely have to be mastered, in the sense that what tools are available and how can I actively use them, and I can also use these tools for the organizations. I can suggest them to the organizations, and I did not like I have to pay them, but it gives a very holistic coaching experience for everyone involved, right? And also being aware of the ethics part also. How am I using AI ethics in all of this, and
Yeah.
how can I deepen this emotional intelligence into this virtual world?
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're
Then
all
yes.
that's just to be aware of. Yeah,
Yeah, as you rightly said, right? Ethics is again, as we are talking about, we have so much of emphasis that like the whole thing revolves around the ethics that are present for coaching. So I think this will take an additional effort to ensure that we are well aware. And we were talking about all these tools, Divya, are there any specific, like any tool that you will suggest for our audiences that they may go and just explore?
There are a lot of platforms actually, like Pluma is there, and then Humo is there, Mentor
Mhm.
Clicker is there. So and then respectivity is there, receptivity. Sorry, so
Receptivity, yeah. Hmm.
receptivity. So they're all AI. I'm not sure how whether they are paid or free, but we can just be aware of them. How are they being applied, and we can suggest to the organizations as a starting point for a client to be more self-aware of, so that the coach can have a better starting point when the relationship starts with the client, right? It's more like an
Yeah.
assessment.
Yeah,
So
wonderful. I think I will also go and just explore some of them. And here comes a comment from Coach PK Narayanan. Business coaching would be a challenge for people wouldn't be comfortable discussing business numbers and strategy with a bot. Very, very fair point, right? As he's
yes,
saying that because we are, I think it also comes to the trust factor, right? The kind of trust we share with humans, and then sharing with a bot where we are not 100% sure how this data is going to be used, I think will bring in that trust factor as well.
exactly. So that's where I'm going back to the point on ethical considerations, where I spoke about informed consent, right?
Hmm.
So whenever I'm using any kind of AI integration tool or technology to be used with the client, I have to be, very clear about how comfortable are they in, because the data is going to be stored somewhere, right?
Hmm.
And how comfortable are they in discussing these things? And the coach has to mindfully convey to the client the different levels of integrating AI. I can just use the surface level for psychometric assessments or for pattern recognition. And the client is not comfortable with sharing the live information, then I have to be, consciously mindful of that. Sometimes they might say, they might not say. And that's where human intuition comes into play here. As a coach, I have to be intuitive about what the client's said and unsaid needs.
Absolutely. Yeah, I always love that, unsaid ones, the toning down, and something that, like you sense that energy. I would say that is a beautiful part when it comes to a coach and coachee relationship. So yeah, while AI definitely can help us, but I think at the back of our mind we must be aware of what we bring as humans when a coaching conversation is considered. Okay, so I got a lot of insights. I think I would like to curious to know that you being into the industry and have been there a leadership coach. What do you think if you think about the pattern or the future or view of Gen AI in the coaching industry? What are your thoughts or insights? What are you hearing around?
When it comes to AI, the sky is the limit, they say, right? So
Hmm.
there's no limit to where it can take us there. But in the coaching hemisphere, specifically in the coaching sphere, I think we have to be very conscious about it can not being replacing, the beautiful relationship, right? The sanctity of the coaching relationship, we can say, right? And in future there is a possibility of having AI as a personalization, tool, right? Not like an umbrella model for everyone, but very personalized. And these can refine the intuition or the insights for a client needed. And then this can help us to come up with live tracking plans or the action plans for the client, and then real time relevant data. So that can be AI as a personalized tool. That is one. And then
Hmm.
can also become part of a, enhanced data driven insight for us also. And then we can also be subject to more self reflection tools, like natural language processing, the NLP, which can be used to analyze our journals, voice inputs. And then it can also use all of this self-reflective practices, and it can help the clients to better understand their emotions and thoughts, and can be again, like I mentioned before, a starting point from where the coach can partner with the client in their journey. So the
Wow.
future of AI is endless, but how are we using it in the right way, in a very balanced way, so that it does not replace a coach. It cannot replace, definitely. It can augment us.
Yeah, augmentist. Yeah, that you covered beautifully, Divya. I mean, we heard it so many times, but it is still so relevant, right? Like with great power comes great responsibilities. I think that will again have to be at the back of our mind. And the part which you said, right, getting the insights about your own reflections. I was just wondering, like we do our year-end reflections and plan. Recently, it has been, a lot of reflective workshops also happened. So I was just thinking, oh, so I can do my reflection and see that, okay, if AI has generated something, are they all matching up, or what other additional insights we are getting? Great. And thank you so much for being here, Divya. It was a pleasure having this
Thank you.
conversation. I look
Like,
forward to go and explore some of the tools and what possibilities AI holds in the world of coaching, while remembering the ethics with which we are all abided throughout our coaching journey. So no, with that note, I was just also thinking that maybe today I'm here as a host. Maybe tomorrow an AI agent will be there hosting our guest. That is just a possibility. So I leave our audiences to ponder upon the topic of today, and making that right balance, striking that right
exactly.
balance
So that
between the human
has to be
solution.
achieved. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Anu. Thanks a lot. Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you.